Today is a very exciting day because I have built a new house for my Nightmare Legacy Challenge. For those of you who might be unfamiliar, I have this Legacy Challenge that I'm playing on my YouTube channel right now, and I will link the whole playlist down below if you want to watch the series. But we have endearingly named it the Nightmare Legacy Challenge because we're playing on short lifespan, and a lot happens, like really fast, all the time. And oftentimes it's bad. So it's just been a lot of fun to play with, and we're about to start the 5th generation. So honestly, now could be a good time to join in if you haven't seen any of it. The new heir is taking over. And so I wanted to build her a new house, and that's what we're gonna do today. So here we are in Oasis Springs. I must acknowledge the 2 elephants in the room, the random sim and the tiny dot that you're seeing on the floor. That's my new puppy and the lady from the adoption event. That's who's sitting on the floor there. Don't worry about it, they'll be there the whole time. So that's what happens when you build on a lot that you've been actively playing on. Like, there's just weird stuff going on. So when we started this, we had about 80,000 simoleons to work with. I did have some items in my inventory. Like, I saved my computer and the TV and a couple of the kitchen appliances. Like, some of the more expensive things I saved to use again because I didn't want to have to, like, sell them and rebuy them because you lose money that way. But I did just bulldoze most of the lot and decide to start over because that's kind of fun to do when you're playing in a legacy house like this. So I did upload the previous house onto the gallery with no CC. It didn't have CC, but the game thinks that photos of your Sims are custom content, and I have a lot of photos of my Sims. So this house, that's one thing that I wanted to do as well, was just fill it with family photos. So I uploaded to the gallery without the photos and then added them in myself later. So if you want to download this one, you can, and it won't be ruined by my Sims pictures, which I like, but you might not, because, you know, if you're playing with your family, you probably don't care to have photos of my family everywhere. Just a thought. Now, I did have a reference photo for the exterior of this house, and I'll plop it on the screen here now. I think in the end it looks kind of similar. I was mostly inspired for like the shape and the roof a little bit. The back and like the sides of the house, not so much match. I was just trying to kind of get a vibe for the color scheme and stuff like that. I did add a couple things, like for example, I wanted to have a fake garage. It was important to me to have the fake garage because my Sim is a criminal. She's in the criminal career, and eventually she's gonna need the fitness skill with that criminal career, so I wanted to give her a home gym. And also her boyfriend right now is gonna be in the athlete career, so I figured like if we move in together, it might be nice to have a gym space where they can use some gym equipment, so I wanted to do that. There's also a lot of really nice space outside. Like, there's some really nice outdoor space in this backyard. We have a big pool. We have 2 big patios. Like, it's a nice, wonderful little home. It ends up being 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms because right now, the Sims that live here, I will give you a rundown of this family, don't worry. But the current Sims that live here, the new heir, Terry, just became a young adult. So her dad is an elder and he still lives here, so he's got a bedroom. And she has 2 younger sisters that are both teens, so they also still live here. So I want everybody to have a bedroom, but also like eventually those teens are gonna move out and she's probably gonna have kids of her own that will then, you know, use those bedrooms. That's the idea. Let me give you a little catch up on the past generation. Her parents, this new Sim Terry's parents, okay? So her dad Cam still lives here. Her other dad, Gerald, does not. You know why? I killed him. Not on purpose. Well, kind of on purpose, but not really on purpose. Basically, he got eaten by a cow plant, and he's no longer with us, is what happened. It was a bit traumatic. So that's what happened to Gerald. The 2 of them were very cute together, but Gerald is no longer. So that was unfortunate for all of us. I did cry a little bit, and I still feel a bit sad when I think about it. But Gerald, he's dead. Cam's here by himself. Never remarried or anything. I don't think that Cam was ready for that. I don't think that Cam ever will. I mean, he's an elder now and he's probably gonna die in like 2 in-game days. So that's the problem with short lifespan. Your Sims don't last very long. So when they get to be an elder, it's like the clock is ticking, you know? There was kind of a tragic love story in the 1st generation too. My Sim, because we're, again, short lifespan strikes, but we were playing with a Sim, my young adult Sim was dating an adult, which you usually would think is fine, but when you're playing on short lifespan, again, the clock is ticking and it's ticking fast. So we were dating this Sim who was an adult, and then he became an elder as soon as the baby was born. They had a kid together, and so they got engaged, they had the baby. I was prepared to have them get married. They had the day off for Harvest Fest. I was prepping the wedding. It's 6 a.m. We wake up, we're ready to go and have our little wedding ceremony. He dies. He's got a toddler at home. We were about to get married. I had planned this whole wedding out, and he died on his wedding day. before they ever had a chance to get married. So, you know, this whole legacy family is sort of full of tragedy, hence the nightmare legacy thing. And the fun part is that it's been going on for so long, but like each of the generations is kind of their own like mini series, right? With a new main sim. So if you want to join us and watch, it's genuinely a lot of fun. Like this is probably one of my favorite Sims families I've ever played with. So I will have the playlist linked down below. There are 50 episodes now. Which is a lot, but you know what we love The Sims for, right? And it's fun now that we're getting up to like later in the series because we actually have more money now, so we can build like nicer houses. In the beginning, we did not have that much room to work with. So it's kind of fun to like see them grow and have these better things at their fingertips, like just access to more stuff. I also did live stream this build yesterday, so I will link that down below if you want to watch like the stream, or my Twitch channel if you want to join us, because I stream a lot on Twitch. I don't know if you knew. I actually stream every day except for Sundays. So if you want to come by and hang out, I'm playing The Sims a lot most of the time. Sometimes I play other things, but I mostly play The Sims, let's be real. Although I have been playing Animal Crossing for a couple years now. Well, a year now. Hasn't been out for a couple years. And also I'm playing Life is Strange this week. On Saturday, I'm gonna finish it. So if you want to join us, like I said, now is not a bad time to pop in. But yeah, for the most part, it's just Sims. And a lot of building in The Sims. I've also been doing a lot of building in Newcrest. I'm trying to rebuild all of Newcrest with just the base game, so I've been doing a lot of that. This build is not just the base game, by the way. Because it's a build for like my legacy family that I'm actively playing in, I used whatever packs. I usually try to be kind of conscious of that and like not use all the packs at once, because I know a lot of you want to download the builds, and most people don't have that many packs because they are very expensive. So I try to be conscious of that and make sure we're using packs that like people can actually have access to download and stuff. But with this one, because it was more for me and I had to say it, not for you, this build is for me, not you. I just use whatever packs really, because that way we would have the ability to have a beautiful house with whatever I so pleased. So you can make a pretty house with just the base game, but I wanted to use like all the weird windows from the mosquito stuff pack and stuff that like I wouldn't normally use, so hence this one. Now the style of this house is a lot different than we've done recently, or like ever. Honestly, this house looks very different than my normal builds altogether. I don't usually build stuff like this. I mostly build like little suburban homes. I don't really do these sort of modern looking things. Now this one, the reference photo is called Industrial Farmhouse, which I didn't even know was a thing, to be honest with you. It feels like a fake descriptor to me, but that's fine. So the reference photo said it was industrial farmhouse themed, whatever that means. But I was mostly just going for that like darker, like, and also industrial look, because like I said, my sim is a criminal, and we are coming from this house that was like very dream home decorator. Everything in it was very white and bright. There was lots of like soft yellows and blues. Like it was kind of the exact opposite of this home, which I kind of did on purpose. I liked the idea of having a much more different vibe in this house. One, because it's a new sim, and two, because maybe she's trying to rebel from that original home that she grew up in. I don't know. Now the other thing that's weird is the rugs. So my Twitch chat really liked that orange rug that I had set down, and I had mostly just put that rug down as like a filler because I was trying to space out the house. This is my usual build methods, right? Like I will go and I'll put like a rug underneath the living room and the dining space just to try and figure out, okay, does a dining table fit here the way I want it to? Let me set a rug down so I can sort of visualize it better before I put any furniture as I'm trying to figure out a floor plan, which really helps, especially in like these open floor plan areas, to figure out like, okay, what fits here? Can I have living space here? So I usually put down rugs first, just as like a spacer, so I can picture it in my brain. And my chat loved the orange rug. I did not. I'm not gonna lie, not a big fan of that rug. I think I like that industrial loft kit rug, but the solid colors on it look a bit weird to me. And I'm not a huge fan of the orange one, but my chat really liked it. So I was sitting here trying to figure out if I could pull it off. And if I even wanted to use the orange rug. And then the rest of the furnishings, kind of, I decided to have like a bit of an orange accent. And so I wanted to use a lot of orange rugs. And then my chat, some people did not like the orange rugs and they were a bit mean about it. So naturally, I doubled down and made sure I used the orange rugs, because if they're gonna be mean to me, then, well, I'm gonna make them more orange. This is my toxic trait. People say they don't like my build. I'm like, okay, I'll make it worse. But A lot of people liked it. I don't really use orange as an accent color in my builds ever, so I figured it could be a fun chance to do it. I didn't end up using that orange rug, but I did use a couple orange patterned rugs from Get Famous, and then another one that is a horrible, horrible, ugly brown color. And I know it's ugly, and that's why I used it, but you'll see it come together. I think that in the end, it all kind of matches and works well together. They all sort of like tie off each other. I don't know. It works, but it did stem from me trying to be a brat about it. So I will admit that. This house is very much not my style. Like, I really don't like it that much. I like it, but I would never choose to live here or to buy this house in real life. It is very different from what I would personally furnish my home with. Even down to like the leather sofas, I would never do that. But it is kind of fun to branch out in The Sims, especially because it's such a drastic departure from like the other houses that this family has had. It's kind of fun. And then if we decide we don't like it, we can always just build a new one. Like, we're not stuck in this house. I can realize that it's bad and then just make a different one, you know? The other problem is the bill situation. This always happens with legacy houses, right? Because we're sort of in this weird crossover of generations, and I also have a lot of money, so I can choose to upgrade the house. We don't have as much money as you normally might if you're playing a legacy, because usually by Gen 5, you got like hundreds of thousands of simoleons, but when you're playing on short lifespan, it's a lot harder to progress in your career because you die sooner. You don't usually max the career. So my sim is a level 7 chef, her dad, and currently she is a level 1 criminal. So he makes about 500 simoleons a day, and she makes like 50. So yeah, she makes 9 simoleons an hour. So we don't have a lot of income in this household, and as soon as Cam retires, I think we're gonna have big problems because the bills are like 4,000 simoleons. I played a day, so I got the bills, and the bills are like 4,000 simoleons. I saved like 1,200 when I finished the build, so I had to like scrounge together some frogs to pay the bills. But especially once Cam dies or retires and like is no longer working, I think we're gonna have some big problems when it comes to paying the bills. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it, because for now, I like my house and it's pretty. And also, eventually, Terry will, like, get married or have another person living here, another income, so we should be all right. It'll be fine. And she'll get promoted, you know. The criminal career is tough in this game. Like, she works horrible hours. Right now, she's actually level 2. She got promoted, so she now makes, like, 14 simoleons an hour, and her work hours are 8 to 4 a.m., and she works 6 days a week. That's horrible. That is absolutely terrible. I mean, I just feel so bad. It's so hard, and this goes for real life too, obviously. Major props to those of you who have to work like late night shifts like that, but it's just so hard to be on that schedule because it like ruins your whole day. You can't do anything because you're like dreading having to go to work at 8 p.m. Like, and then you have to sleep in late, but it's not ideal hours. To be fair, she is a criminal, so I don't know what she expects, but it really is not ideal. Her work schedule is not the best. She also has the kleptomaniac trait, so I'm probably gonna have to resort to stealing to pay for a lot in the future. I really expect to have to steal to pay bills, and I'm okay with that. I mean, she's a kleptomaniac, so let's take advantage of it. The one fun part about this legacy also is that I randomize my Sims traits, and it's really fun when you randomize traits because I feel like, I don't know if you're anything like me, but sometimes it's hard to like intentionally give your Sims bad traits, especially when they're born into your family. Like when you have a toddler, you pick a cute trait. When they're a child, you're like, ooh, you can be creative. And then you've had this sim for a while and you don't want to turn them evil, you know? Because you love this sim. They're not evil. They're the cutest little kid. And then how do you decide to make a sim evil when you're actually playing with them? Well, when you randomize their traits, it is up to fate. And it usually ends up being kind of funny. So I most of the time randomize my kids' traits when they're born. I kind of miss that about The Sims 3, like how the Sims would get traits given to them. I don't know if you played The Sims 3, so you might not know this, but in The Sims 3, when you had a kid, their traits were decided based on their upbringing and even your pregnancy. So babies were born with 2 traits immediately, and they had 5 total traits. So babies were born with 2 traits, and their traits were decided based on how well your pregnancy went. So if you like read pregnancy books and you took care of yourself during the pregnancy, your baby is more likely to let you select the traits. But if you didn't take care of yourself during the pregnancy, you didn't read the books, you weren't prepared for the baby, you might like get auto given bad traits, or like auto given one trait and then get to choose the second one, stuff like that. It like depended on how the pregnancy went. Same thing with toddlers. If you didn't like potty train and teach them how to walk and talk, you couldn't pick their next trait when they aged up into a child. Like, I just loved that. I loved that about The Sims 3. It was so realistic, and it's a fun little touch, and I miss that. I miss pregnancy books. I miss a lot of the little gameplay aspects of The Sims 3. I'd love if in the future they updated that in The Sims 4 to like give babies and pregnancy like more of, I don't know, just more would be really nice, because that's the thing, like pregnancy in real life is such an important time. Like, and also is such a monumental event for most people, and it's a shame that in The Sims it kind of just comes and goes and like doesn't really affect anything, you know? I hate to say it, but I feel like it's maybe been too long for them to update babies. I keep saying this, and a lot of people really want a baby update, which I would not be opposed to. Like, because babies right now are just objects. In The Sims, I would kill for a chance to have a baby update, but I feel like it might be too late for that. And I could be wrong. I don't want to like write it off, but I think that The Sims has been out for so long. The Sims 4 has been around for so long. I just can't see them doing such a big change, like updating babies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like a thing that's gonna happen anymore, which I'm sad about, because I would love to see them update babies. I don't want to get my hopes up for a thing that feels like it probably won't happen. It feels like a little dream that will never come true. I did think the same thing about toddlers though. Like, before the toddler update came out, when we didn't have toddlers, I was like, they're never gonna add them. It's too late. And then they did. But that was also like 5 years ago. So I was a senior in high school. Now I have graduated college. I've been out of college for a year. So, I don't know if we'll ever get a baby update. But let's not write it off. We might. I just don't want to keep my hopes up. Maybe in 5 years I'll come back and I'll eat my words. Oh, don't say that. 5 years. Could you imagine The Sims 4 went on for 5 more years without a Sims 5 coming out? I don't think that'll happen. Maybe it will. I don't know. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. The Sims 4 has already been around so much longer than the other Sims games. Like, usually The Sims 5 would have come out already. And I don't think it's going to be out for a while. In my head, I think like 3 years maybe. But I don't know anything about that. There's not any information on The Sims 5 out there. This is pure speculation. I have absolutely no insider knowledge about The Sims 5. I think it's pretty clear that they're making The Sims 5 based on like job listings on EA's website and stuff like that. The lead producer on The Sims 4 left about 1.5 years, 2 years ago to work on a different project at Maxis. And he's been working on The Sims for like 20 years. So I wonder what that might be. I don't know, like, it's kind of obvious that they're making something, like the next generation of The Sims, but it takes years to make games. So I don't expect it to come out anytime soon, but I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting to speculate about The Sims 5, but I worry about me speculating about The Sims 5 on the internet, because I feel like people think I know more than I do. There is absolutely no mention of The Sims 5 anywhere. I don't know anything about it, and if I did, I wouldn't be talking about it right now, you know? I think that's funny when people assume that I like know more than I do. Well, then why would I be talking about it? Like, if I knew The Sims 5 was coming out in 37 days, but it was like not announced, why would I be like, I wonder if The Sims 5 is gonna come out soon? Like, that would be breaking a whole bunch of contracts. No, so I don't know anything about it. They didn't tell anybody anything about it. It's probably like long ways away. So don't worry, or possibly worry depending on how you feel about The Sims 5, but it's not gonna come out anytime soon. Anyway, the house is pretty much almost done. Sorry that I rambled about so many unrelated things for so long. I swear, you get me talking in a speed build and I just don't shut up. It's a real problem. I could just go on and on and on about nothing all day in these sort of videos. But the build is kind of coming to a close. I will, of course, give you a tour in game because you deserve it. I cut out a few things in the speed build. I oftentimes will cut out like doing the bathrooms and stuff like that. And I'm embarrassed to admit this, but the bathroom in this house, it took me so long to figure out. And there's 3 of them, and I spent so long trying to figure out color scheme. Like, it was embarrassing. So I cut that one out of this video. I did not include that here. We're just doing the last couple of things, like last bedrooms, because there are those 2 teenage siblings that live here. Granted, they are both like right about to age up. One of them has 1 day left of being a teen. So she's like almost a young adult. She's just about to move out. So I didn't really give that much detail to the smaller bedroom, because that's where she lives. That's where Tia's room is. So I figured like, I'm gonna have to get rid of it soon to become a baby's room. Like, I may as well just give her a couple things and then call it a day. So I probably could have given more effort to those rooms, but I also didn't want to spend a ton of money. Like, we were getting really close to completely running out of money, so I didn't want to like splurge for a room that is gonna be deleted soon, you know? But that's the whole house. I'm gonna show you the before first, the old house. I kind of like it better. I hate to say it, but it's a different era. Literally a different air as well for the legacy. Oh, disregard the grave in the front yard. But this is the house. I did post a build video on this too, so I can link that for you. But it was bigger. I'll admit it was. I liked it here. It was wonderful. But now we have a new home. So as you can see, there she is. But here is the finished product. Just for the record, this car is fake. It's a debug car. You can't like use it or click on it. It's just there for decoration, but it looks nice. This is my murder pond. It's full of piranhas and it will kill your sim, so be warned, but I've always had it. I don't want to get rid of it. We've got some like deserty landscaping. I definitely use some weird things that I don't normally use, like these ball trees, but I thought it might be fun to branch out a little bit. The backyard has a few things. This area is mostly gonna be filled in once I have more kids. Like I want to put like some kids playground stuff out here, maybe like a water slide or something. I'm just picturing doing that once we actually have kids around. Right now there's no point, and I also didn't have much money, so I left it empty, but there is some plants that we're growing. This is my dead cow plant. There's my fire pit area. We have a little pool, some more deserty stuff, this big patio. There is a balcony off the primary bedroom as well. But when you come inside, this is that ugly rug I was talking about. I told you it's an awful color, I know. But it kind of matches that, right? Like it kind of matches the paintings. Anyway, we have a dining room, we have a big kitchen, and then TV room here. I've got some like family photos on the walls and around the place. Those are not on the gallery version, don't worry. This is the downstairs bathroom, and then this is Cam's bedroom, the dad, the grandpa. This guy, he lives here. This is that converted garage. It's actually a gym. And this, I swear, I'm having the worst time with framed photos in this game. Look at this. Update frame, black. Didn't work. Okay, but this one, update frame, black. No, update frame, yellow. Okay, that works. Can I put it back to black now? No. Stuck at yellow. I was absolutely freaking out when I was building this. And you can change them in build mode, but they keep turning back to white. Like I reload the lot and it's back white again. Why? Okay, anyway, upstairs we have a nice hallway. There's 2 kids' bedrooms over here. One for each of the Sims. This one is for Tabitha, this one's for Tia. I think they're pretty cute. And then this is that primary suite. It does have a zebra rug. Tiger rug? Maybe tiger rug that's not a zebra. It has a tiger rug. We have that private balcony and everything. It's kind of cute. This is the bathroom. I don't know. I'm pleased with this house. It's fun. It's a nice change, I think. And it's definitely a weird shape, but it looks like the reference photo. So like maybe it's fun. I don't know. It's growing on me. I know it's weird. Don't worry. That being said, that is the build. I'm posting episode 50, the first episode of the new generation, on Monday. So stay tuned for that. And I will have the playlist linked down below if you want to watch the series. It's really fun. I hope that you like it. And on that note, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. I'm not gonna lie, I have really bad cramps right now. I kind of need to go lay down. This is horrible.